Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are officially 2 days away from the NBA season. Let's get it, let's go. But anyways, as you can read by the title today, the 2020 NBA playoff predictions, I got them. We're going to be predicting the playoffs, but you already know who coming with the W in the NBA Finals. Let's not waste any more time, y'all. Let's get it popping like fireworks. So we're going to start off with the Western Conference. We're going to start off with the number 1 seed, the LA Clippers, versus the number 8 seed, the San Antonio Spurs. Now, the San Antonio Spurs, they never missed the playoffs. Like, they're on a streak of 22 years of making the playoffs, and 23 will break the record. So, Greg Pop, y'all got to make the playoffs this year. But anyway, they got DeMar DeRozan, LaMarcus Aldridge, and DeJounte Murray is finally back from injury. And he looked good during the preseason. So I believe in the San Antonio Spurs, but they're going up against the LA Clippers, who acquired Kawhi Leonard and PG-13. But they add a lot of defense to the team. They're going to be a top 3 defensive team in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard, NBA Finals MVP, led the Toronto Raptors all the way to the NBA Finals to beat the Golden State Warriors. PG-13 was the MVP candidate from last year until he got injured late in the season. And then you got Patrick Beverley, who is just grit and grind all day. Then you got Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell, 2 of the best players coming off the bench in the league. 2 of the best players coming off the bench in the league. Lou Williams going off of 20 points per game off the bench. And defensively, they're one of the best teams in the league. So I'm taking the Clippers probably in 4 or 5 games against the San Antonio Spurs in the first round. Let's move on to the 4 and 5 seed in the Western Conference. The Denver Nuggets, the number 4 seed. I think they really should be higher. I probably regret putting them at the 4th seed, but Utah Jazz at the 5th seed. Now, the Denver Nuggets, they are a regular season team. That's why I think they should be a little bit higher. I think that's my fault. I should have probably put them at the number 3, number 2 spot in the Western Conference because they are a regular season team. But they boast a young, talented team. They got Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray, Gary Harris. You got Michael Porter Jr. coming back from his injury. You add Bo to the mix. You got Mason Plumlee on the team. So they have a lot of talented young guys on the team. But they go against the Utah Jazz, who I think are going to be a sleeper for the NBA Finals. They acquire Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdanovic. Mike Conley is one of the most underrated players in the league. Bojan Bogdanovic put on a show for the Indiana Pacers in Victor Oladipo's absence. And then you have Rudy Gobert, Defensive Player of the Year from last year. And then you have Donovan Mitchell, one of the young and rising up-and-coming talents in the NBA, who I think should be an all-star this year. Joe Ingles, who could lock down your best player. So I'm taking the Jazz because the Denver Nuggets have yet to show me what they could do in the playoffs. So I'm taking the Utah Jazz against the Denver Nuggets in the first round. Now let's move on to the 3rd and 6th seed. The 3rd seed is the Houston Rockets and the 6th seed is the Portland Trail Blazers. Now this will be a rematch between Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook. We already know what happened the first year against the Oklahoma City Thunder Trail Blazers. Damian Lillard hit the game winner on Russell Westbrook and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Everybody was like, Damian Lillard is better than Russell Westbrook. So I think this year, it is time to show that Russell Westbrook is better than Damian Lillard. Russell Westbrook is going to have to be a dog. But I think this is going to be a great first round matchup. The Blazers showed that last year they're the underdog team. They went all the way to the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors, but eventually lost. James Harden and the Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook, that's going to be hard to guard. I don't think that CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard is going to handle James Harden and Russell Westbrook. Then you got Eric Gordon, who could hit a couple shots. Austin Rivers coming off the bench. Clint Capella is a great center for them. And then PJ Tucker, he's going to hit a lot of threes. And he's going to get down and dirty with his hustle points. So I think that the Houston Rockets, they're going to have an edge over the Blazers. I think that James Harden is a bad man. Nobody is going to be able to guard him on the Portland Trail Blazers. So I'm taking the Rockets over the Portland Trail Blazers. We have the final matchup in the first round on the Western Conference. We have the number 2 seed, the Los Angeles Lakers, against the number 7 seed, the Golden State Warriors. Now, the Lakers, they're a stacked team. You already know what happened in preseason. I know it's preseason, but we blew out the Warriors the first 2 times. And I think that LeBron James, this is his MVP year. AD is going to go off. AD is just everything you dream of a big man. Could go out on the perimeter, shoot mid-range three-point shots, back to the basket. Defensively, one of the best power forwards, centers in the league, and I think that's unguardable. Plus, we have Kyle Kuzma once he comes back from injury, and I think the Golden State Warriors, they don't have any interior defense at all. So who's gonna guard AD? Who's even gonna guard JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard down low? Nobody's gonna do that on the Golden State Warriors. I believe Steph Curry is gonna go off. He's gonna go off during the series, and by this point, they're gonna have Klay Thompson back in the lineup. D'Angelo Russell, we have yet to see if he fit in with the Golden State Warriors. So I'm taking the Lakers, probably a sweep. Warriors maybe sneak in one game, just because Steph Curry may go off for like 40, 50 points. But I see them going to 4 or 5 games. Now let's move on to the Eastern Conference, the first round. We got the 76ers against the Orlando Magic, the number 1 and number 8 seed. To be honest, this is easy. I'm taking the 76ers. It's nothing left to be said. They're the best defensive team, I think, in the league. The Clippers, they had Al Horford and Joel Embiid manning the middle. The interior defense is going to be alive and well, ladies and gentlemen, for the Philadelphia 76ers. Their lineup boasts players that are no less than 6'6". Josh Richardson, Ben Simmons is going to have a great year this year, especially if he gets a jump shot. So I'm taking it over the Orlando Magic. Orlando Magic, they're a pretty decent team. They got Aaron Gordon, Nikola Vucevic, Terrence Ross, but they can't match up against the Philadelphia 76ers. For the 4th and 5th seed, we got the Indiana Pacers against the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the Indiana Pacers last year, in Victor Oladipo's absence, was pretty not that bad, bro. They were not that bad. Bojan Bogdanovic put in his great deal of work last year, but now they lose him. But they have Malcolm Brogdon and Miles Turner on the squad, and Sabonis, who is a rising star in this league. And by this time, Victor Oladipo will be back in the lineup, and I think they will be alive and well. So get ready. And the Brooklyn Nets, they got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. He's going to be injured. I don't know if he's going to come back for the playoffs. I don't know that. But they also have DeAndre Jordan as well. But they lost D'Angelo Russell. But Kyrie, DeAndre Jordan. Then you have Jared Allen, one of the best young centers in the league. You got Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Kevin LeVert, one of the young up-and-coming rising stars in this league. I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets. This is going to be a close series. I can't wait to see this series if they match up against each other. Kyrie Irving is going to go off. I don't think it's going to be like he did with the Celtics, where it's a lot of drama. I think this is a fresh new beginning for him, so I'm taking the Brooklyn Nets. 3rd and 6th seed in the Eastern Conference, we got the Boston Celtics and the Miami Heat. Boston Celtics, they gained Kemba Walker and Enes Kanter. And I think that Kemba Walker is going to bring a whole new style than Kyrie did with the Boston Celtics. I think that Kemba Walker is going to be more of a playmaker for this team to get folks like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown involved on the offensive end. Then they got Marcus Smart coming off the bench. But the Miami Heat, they gained Jimmy Butler, who is a big player for them. And they also have Deion Waiters. They got Derrick Jones. They got Goran Dragic. They got a lot of young, talented guys. But I think the Boston Celtics will edge out the Miami Heat. I just think the Celtics are too talented to be losing in the first round. So I got the Celtics winning against the Miami Heat, moving on to the second round. Now for the final matchup in round 1 in the Eastern Conference, we got the number 2 seed in the Milwaukee Bucks and the number 7 seed in the Toronto Raptors, which is a rematch, except minus Kawhi Leonard on the Toronto Raptors. So therefore, I'm taking Giannis and the Bucks moving on to the second round. I'm sorry, Raptors, but y'all don't have as good of a team as y'all did last year. Kawhi Leonard, he carried y'all on y'all back all the way to the finals until beating the Golden State Warriors. So we got to give credit where credit is due in Kawhi Leonard. So shout out to Kawhi Leonard for ending the Warriors dynasty. Well, let's move on to the second round. Let's start off in the Eastern Conference this time. 76ers going up against the Brooklyn Nets. And so Brooklyn, they got a better team. Again, I don't know if KD is going to be on the team during the NBA playoffs, but this time around, I think the 76ers is going to be a matchup nightmare for them. They got everybody 6'6" or taller. Joel Embiid, who's going to guard him? And if they guard him, who's going to guard Al Horford? Who's going to guard Ben Simmons? Who's going to guard Tobias Harris or Josh Richardson? I'm taking the 76ers to go to the Eastern Conference Finals simply because of their size, defensive ability. I just don't see the Brooklyn Nets getting past the 76ers unless Kyrie Irving just goes off. DeAndre Jordan just has himself a field day. Unless that happens, I don't see them beating the 76ers. So I got the 76ers going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Boston Celtics, they got a new team. It's going to be a rematch like last year. They got Kemba Walker, Enes Kanter, Jason Tatum, Gordon Hayward, Jaylen Brown. But the Milwaukee Bucks have this man named Giannis Antetokounmpo, who's going to be going off. He's going to be smelling blood. He's going to want to go to the NBA Finals. I'm taking Giannis and the Bucks over the Boston Celtics. Let's move on to the Western Conference. We got the Clippers versus the Utah Jazz. And for me, the Jazz are a sleeper team to go to the NBA Finals once again. But the Clippers, defensively, is one of the best teams in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are one of the top 3 best duos in the NBA today. I just don't see the Utah Jazz getting past Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, and the Clippers are deep. The Clippers are deep. Especially the Utah Jazz are deep as well. I just don't see them beating this Clippers team, who took the Golden State Warriors to a good 6 games last year, and now they add Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to the mix. I'm taking the Clippers over the Jazz. It's going to be a close series, though. Now we have the Lakers versus the Houston Rockets. This is going to be a fun matchup if this happens. AD and LeBron against Russell Westbrook and James Harden? That's going to be a matchup to watch. I cannot wait if this happens, bro. James Harden and Russell Westbrook could keep up, definitely. But I think the Lakers, the squad that we have, we go deep. Avery Bradley, Danny Green, Rajon Rondo, Kyle Kuzma, JaVale McGee. If Dwight Howard played like he did in preseason, bro. Like, we have a deep team, a championship team that I think could win it all. Could win it all this season. So I see the Lakers, it's going to be a close matchup against the Houston Rockets. It's going to be close. I think it's going to go to 6 or 7 games. So I got the Lakers beating the Houston Rockets, going to the Western Conference with the matchup against the Clippers and Lakers. But first, let's start off with the Eastern Conference. 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the matchup that I hope happens, bro. The Philadelphia 76ers, the best defensive team in the NBA, going against Giannis, who is the MVP of last year. I think that this is going to go to 7 games. This is going to be a tough matchup between the two. But who do I got going to the NBA Finals? I got the Philadelphia 76ers. Here's why. Joel Embiid, if he stays healthy, ladies and gentlemen, I've been saying this time and time again. If he stays healthy, bro, every other NBA team is in trouble. Ben Simmons, if he gets a jump shot, it's going to be scary. Al Horford manning the middle for the Philadelphia 76ers defensively. Josh Richardson can hit some shots. Tobias Harris is a great scoring forward. And Giannis, they keep the same team, but they lose out on Malcolm Brogdon, who is the key piece. Chris Middleton is going to have to step up. Brook Lopez. But I'm picking the Philadelphia 76ers to go to the NBA Finals. Now we have the Lakers and the Clippers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a matchup that I'm going to be waiting for in the Western Conference Finals. Best believe that. LA Showdown. Who do I pick? You already know. I'm picking the Lakers, baby.
Is he stupid?
I know some of y'all are going to say, well, you're biased. Maybe a little. I may be a little biased. But to think that Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are better than LeBron and AD? Come on, cuz. Come on, cuz. LeBron and AD, the best power forward in the game. Probably the best big man in the game today. Future Hall of Famer. Future top 20 player in NBA history, probably. LeBron James. Already top 3 in NBA history. He has rest. Didn't make the playoffs last year. So he's recharged. Recharged the battery. We have a deep team. Avery Bradley defensively. One of the better defenders, as well as Danny Green, who can hit big shots. Rajon Rondo, the chemistry between him and AD. Kyle Kuzma, our third star. JaVale McGee. And then we have Dwight Howard, who I think could do a little bit something. Jared Dudley, veteran presence. Troy Daniels, another shooter. Come on now. I got the Lakers going to the NBA Finals against the 76ers. And guess who's going to win that? The LA Lakers. Let me know who you got going to the NBA Finals, who you got winning the NBA Finals, what's your playoff bracket looking like. I think the Lakers going to win it all, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, 2 days away from the NBA season. We're going to take this channel to a whole different level next year. I guarantee you. We're gonna have 1,000 subs by the end of the year. I appreciate y'all for subbing to this channel. If you're new, please sub, like, subscribe, the whole dime, whatever you want to do. On the dime, I'm Rhyme.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But anyways, it's your boy, your pal. Cue that Kobe song, baby. We're taking this channel to a whole new level. Just watch.
Okay, Kobe doing work. 2-4 on my shirt. He the greatest on the court, and I'm the greatest on the verse. Going